All right, today we have a 2007 Toyota Camry with a 3.5 liter V6. This car needs an alternator. The alternator sits right down here. It looks pretty easy, but it's not as easy as you think it is. You have to pull this plastic piece off, pull the cover off, get the belt off. You have to take that lower radiator hose off so you can spill some coolant. You got to get the belt off. Then there's cooling fans on the radiator that you have to take off, and hopefully on this model that'll give us enough room to get it out. This is almost just like the same on the Lexus RX 350, so we'll do that. Let me get some of these shields off and I'll come back. I have taken and removed the shield that was covering the top of the radiator core support, and as you can see, the alternator is right here. And then there's the cooling fan that you're going to need to take away. A lot of times you have to take out the radiator, top of the radiator core support here. You get it out of the way, the hose, the belt, and then there's a bolt that goes through this way. There's another bolt down at the bottom, and then there's another bolt that goes through this way that you have to fish out. You got to be real careful not to break any of the radiator pieces here. That is the biggest problem with these cars is when you're trying to get the alternator out, you might get too close and break the overflow tube off the radiator. You gotta be super careful on these. These alternators are not fun to do. Even though it looks pretty easy, it's a lot more involved than you think it is. All right, now I also removed the fresh air intakes that sit here and this upper radiator core support that holds the radiator, so you can see the radiator now is moving around. They want you to take the radiator out on these. I try to do it without taking the radiators out of these. So here's another thing. The bolts that hold in the upper radiator core support, they're usually rusted real bad. So what I end up doing is I stick my finger in underneath and spray penetrating oil on my finger and rub them on the bolts to make them come out easier. Sometimes you have to work them in and out because they will break. Somebody's had this apart because on this one here, they actually had a nut underneath it that I had to reach in and take the nut out. You see how rusty this one is also. So I'm draining the coolant right now. I'll take the upper hose off, get that out of here, and then I'll unplug all these wires here to get the fans out. I should be able to push this, as soon as the upper radiator hose stops acting like a spring, I should be able to pull the radiator far enough forward to get the fan assembly out. Then I'll come over here and I'll take off the lower radiator hose and the belt and start actually taking the alternator out. This job pays like 4 hours to do, and it's a pain in the butt. They want you to do this job by taking the radiator out. Some of them say take the front bumper off. I don't know why you didn't take the front bumper out except for... All right, sorry about that. My phone actually ran out of space. I had to go in and clear a bunch of videos. So like I was saying, is they want you to take the front bumper off. Because I do believe they think you can't get in here to get these bolts out on this to get that upper support bracket out. So anyway, let's go on. So I have now the hose, I've taken the hose loose, and now I can pull the radiator back, and I've unplugged the fans. So now all we have to do is right here, the fans don't bolt in, they just clip in here, here, and here. So you squeeze and you get them out. I have to get somebody over here to help me to pull the radiator back and to slide the fans out. And once we do that, then I'll start working on getting the belt off and the alternator. All right, now I got the fan out, and I've got the radiator pulled back and held back with a bungee cord. So now we can get over here. I've got the belt off, I got the lower hose off. So we need to take this bolt off here. There's another bolt up in there, and then there's a bolt that goes this way. Let me see if I can get my flashlight on it to show you. It's right up in there. It's kind of hard to see, so I'll show you. Here's the new alternator. So there's the upper bolt. There's a bolt that goes through. Then on here, there is a bolt with a bracket, and the bracket comes out, and that's where that bolt is. So that's what you have to get out. So we're almost there. Let me get the other bolts out of the alternator, and I'll show you that little piece of bracket and where it bolts. All right, so here's the alternator out. And this is that bracket I was telling you about that the bolt goes through underneath the exhaust manifold. So now there's a 12mm bolt you take out. It is indexed quite well, and it bolts in here. So let me show you now that the alternator's out, that it bolts right there. All right, I got the new alternator up in place. As you can see right here, this is the 12 on the extension that goes through that bolt in the back. What I usually do is I usually put this bolt in first to kind of get it lined up so I can wiggle the alternator around. Then I get this one started, and I come over and I get the front one started, which is really hard to see. It's there. And if you're wondering how I got that one off, I use a 14mm ratcheting wrench. It comes in this way, and then you can ratchet it this way. So here's a pretty much overview on how to do an alternator in this car. There's a lot of stuff you have to take apart. Be careful not to break the overflow nipple off the radiator when you're pulling the fans out. And then you have that extra hidden bolt. That's the biggest thing that people don't realize, is there's that extra hidden bolt that goes in this way. So everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like the video.